The Arnold Clark Reel sale is now on.
Welcome to the Football Show on Wednesday. I'm Peter Martin. Absolutely delighted to have your company on the show tonight. Alan Ruff is alongside me as ever, and we welcome back Barry Ferguson. The Christmas party's just come thick and fast for Barry, but thankfully he's with us on the Wednesday, Ruffy. We were a wee bit worried about him. We thought he'd just decided just to go completely mad at Christmas.
Yeah, I was worried about him when he went and bought, I think it was 3 dozen packets of paracetamol. I didn't know what he was getting up to.
Yeah, absolutely, but thankfully that was for other people. Anyway, Barry's here. We're here to talk about football. Here's what's on the agenda. Yep, we start with Dundee United, a takeover. United States businessman Mark Ogren will eventually have control. He reckons it's a bright future. Of course, Mike Martin, the chairman, will eventually make way for Mark Ogren. And I think the ambition is to take United back into the Premiership and into a challenging position, Ruffy.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for Robbie Neilson. I'm sure the new people coming in will want to get back into the Premiership. That can only be good for him. I know he'll want to strengthen in January. I'm sure there will be money available, but it's good for the club itself because there's been a lot of unrest in the last 3 or 4 years, obviously with the ownership. I don't think that the fans were buying into a lot of things, but they certainly bought into Robbie, and he's had some good results, and they're up there challenging. So, no, it's a good time for new owners to come in.
Yeah, the Dundee United Football Club released a statement. We're pleased to announce the purchase of a controlling stake in the club by Mark Ogren, a US-based businessman. The result of several months of discussions, this acquisition provides Dundee United with the strong financial foundations required to support the club's football ambitions, specifically a return to the Premiership. Mr. Martin said throughout our discussions, I was impressed by Mark's passion for sport in general and his vision and ambition for Dundee United. He's developed a keen understanding of our rich history, our values and traditions, the importance of our community role and the passion and loyalty of the supporter base. I feel privileged to have been chairman at this great club, and I'm grateful for all the support and assistance given to me throughout that period. I leave with confidence that Dundee United's future is in very good hands. And of course, Mark Ogren, his ambitions are for Dundee United solely. The question is always asked in the city of a new owner, are you looking at some kind of merging of the clubs? But that's not on the agenda.
Yeah, I don't think the fans want that. Look, Dundee United the last 3 or 4 seasons have been going in the wrong direction. It's down the way. So I think the fans in general will be happy that a new owner's come in, and hopefully they'll be hoping, should I say, that they'll be putting a bit of money into reinvesting into the football squad. I think they've got a very good manager there. I think Robbie Neilson is the right man to take Dundee United where I think they should be, and that's in the Premier League.
Yep, OK. What about last night? One of 3 fixtures over Tuesday and Wednesday. And as you can see, it was an emphatic win for Aberdeen against Dundee by 5 goals to 1. Sam Cosgrove getting a double. And of course, Aberdeen really exposing the failings of Dundee and now moving into a position where suddenly it's all very tight at the top, Barry.
Yep, fair play to Derek. He was getting a bit of stick a month or so ago. Aberdeen weren't playing well, weren't getting the right results, but they're starting to motor now. They're starting to get some decent results. And do you know what? Derek every summer has to go, maybe loses 1 or 2 of his better players, and he's always got to go back, dip into the transfer market and try and bring in similar quality. It's just took a bit of time for this team to gel, but now they're starting to gel. They're starting to get the results, and Aberdeen are looking strong and are at the right end of the league.
Yeah, and you look at that table, Ruffy, suddenly it's starting to look a lot healthier for Aberdeen. They're in the mix. Look at how tight it is. We couldn't have asked for a better league at the top end.
Yeah, you go right down to St Johnstone there, 28 points, 6 points from the top, and it's healthy. I think we used to experience, 2 teams up there and everybody else just like maybe 10, 12 points behind. That's not the case this year, and it's always good to have a competitive league, and I'm sure a lot of these teams will fancy themselves over the next 2 or 3 games.
Down at the bottom, it is not healthy, Ruffy, for Dundee. I think he needs to start shipping players out and getting players in that are really going to battle. If Neil McCann thought he had problems, Jim McIntyre realises, there's no magic wand with this squad.
No, I think he would have thought there would be a wee glimmer of hope with the Rangers game. But since then, obviously, 8 goals in 2 games isn't good reading. And I think you're right, obviously, you don't know what players are under contract, but Jim will certainly have identified players that he would want to keep and players he would want to let go. Yeah,
and Kenny Miller, you would definitely keep him, and he's on a 2-year contract. He's scoring goals for them.
Yeah, I'm sure Jim's looking forward to the January transfer market. I'm sure he wouldn't have took the job if he wasn't going to get the finances to maybe go and get a few players, either buy them or loan them. But I was starting to think he was getting it together, but that was a hard one to take last night for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, before we head into the break, 2 matches on the Wednesday. Hibs, Rangers, Celtic, Motherwell, Easter Road. I'm going to head through there, Barry. It's got the makings of a cracker.
Yeah, well, I watched Hibernian play Celtic at the weekend and I was highly impressed with them. That was the Hibs that I've been used to watching. I know they're going through a difficult period, but I thought they were excellent, Peter. I've got to be honest with you. From start to finish, I thought they dominated the full game and they thoroughly deserved to beat Celtic. So Rangers need to get through there and show what they're made of, because it's going to be a tough night for Rangers. But I do think Rangers can go. They've had numerous chances. Obviously, going top of the league after the Hearts result, the disappointing games against Aberdeen and Dundee. Now they need to show that they're mentally tough enough to stay at that top of the league.
Yeah, and knowing your house and your living room as I do, there's always a worry that you could gash your head when you jump up when Hibs score in the game of the weekend. But
no, do you know what? I really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed the way Hibs played.
I thought they got their tactics right.
Yeah, they got it spot on. They never gave Celtic any time to breathe. As soon as the first whistle went, they were right on top of them, and as you said, they got the goal after 50 seconds. Then after that, I just thought they dominated Celtic, which has not been happening quite a lot this season.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they approach Rangers and whether they're going to try that high press. One thing that Ryan Jack mentioned yesterday at the press conference is with the result against Celtic, Hibs will be on a high.
Yeah, I'm expecting a tough game, of course. Hibs are probably not where they would want to be in the league table, but you've seen from the weekend they're on the back of a good win against Celtic, and I'm sure the confidence will be high. So we're expecting a tough match, but we're well prepared and ready to get a good result.
No surprise that Florent Camberry has looked at the Celtic result and said, well, that's in the past, it's all about tonight.
We showed that we are really ready and we are now on the good run again. But we have now to recover and to be ready for them, because when the game starts on Wednesday, nobody cares now about the Celtic game. So then it's a new game and new chance to win the 3 points.
Well, the two managers have faced each other on the park. I can remember the UEFA Cup. I think Neil Lennon has a lot of admiration for the way Steven Gerrard played. He's certainly been impressed with him as a manager. Both of them have obviously just stoked the fire for this one, built it up nicely, but there's a respect between the two of them.
Yeah, I think there is. I think you've got to respect anything Steven Gerrard's done in the game, and I think Lenny will know exactly, what they've got to do to get something out of this game. I think Lenny's biggest problem tonight is, can this set of players do it twice in a row? They haven't been able to do that this year. It'll be a big ask for them as well. Yeah, they'll be on a high after the weekend, but Rangers won't be a pushover either, so they'll have to be at the same level of performance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key element here. You don't want to go overboard on it, because they haven't been great at times, Hibs. They've had a lull, but they've bounced back. They'll look as if they're getting back to some kind of form. If you were Neil Lennon tonight, how would you approach Rangers and the way they play?
Just exactly the way I approached it on Sunday against Celtic. They were on the front foot. They made it uncomfy for Celtic. At no time in that game did they let Celtic settle into a rhythm. And I'm sure that'll be the team talk in that dressing room before the game tonight. Hopefully it doesn't come off of them.
Yeah.
But if Hibs play like that tonight, Rangers need to be at their best.
I love that balanced view that Barry's displaying for us. Hopefully they don't do it. says the impartial pundit. So give me your prediction then.
Rangers will win. I think it'll be. I'll be honest with you. As I said last week, after beating Hearts at Tynecastle, I'm expecting Rangers to have loads of confidence going into the Aberdeen game. Disappointing result, same at Dundee. Now, I heard Ryan Jackson are up for it, so let's see come kick-off, make sure they're up for it and win that game.
2-1?
Yes, I'm going 2-1 Rangers.
Yeah, I think the two games will be too much for Hibs. 2-1 Rangers.
Okay, there you have it. Both guys going for a Rangers win. I've gone for a draw. Fancy that. Celtic against Motherwell is the other match on Wednesday. Brendan Rodgers has mentioned that if they can get through this festive period and get back to the top, they can have a well-earned rest.
We just know where we're at as a squad. We've got 13 days now to go to finish off a really, really busy first part of the season. And the players now, it's just the case of just trying to refresh them mentally. You know, they've given so much over this first part of the season, and like I said, we've got our League Cup. We've qualified into the last 32 of Europe, and everything's in our hands in the league. So, but we just need to push through, and it's now about this mental fitness in these last 13 days to take us through, and then we can have a break to recover and press the reset button again.
Well, destiny very much for the first half of the season is in their own hands. Motherwell, Dundee, Aberdeen, then Rangers to finish off before the winter break. So Celtic know that if they can engineer maximum points from those 4 games, suddenly they'll have a little bit of a gap at the top.
Yeah, they'll be looking to win the games. I think you'll be concerned after the performance. I'll go back to the Hibs game on Sunday. That wasn't the Celtic that we've been used to watching the last couple of months. And maybe the games are taking the toll on some of the squad. Maybe the squad's not big enough or good enough. So he'll be wanting to get to that January, that winter shutdown, should I say, and try and be top of the league. That'll be their aim.
What is the element here that we've got to look at, Ruffy? Is it the fact that more teams are starting to work Celtic out, or that this double treble side is just actually gone off the boil?
No, I think other teams have got better. I think other teams have brought in better players, Rangers in particular. You know, they're picking up more points. I just feel that Celtic are no different from anybody else. You take 3 good players out the side, Tierney, Rodgick, Christie. Doesn't matter what team you are, they're 3 big players. And the players that are coming in, as evident at the weekend there, aren't of the same quality, and it doesn't matter what team you're playing with, you're not going to get the same results. So it's not a massive test for them tonight, but they need to bounce back. They need to bounce back with a win, or people will start saying, well, this is a wee turn up for the books. Everybody thought we were going to be 10, 12 points ahead at this time of the year. So even if it's at home, they need a win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't buy into these excuses for some. I mean, there are some players that are playing relentlessly, but it's your job. I thought they looked off it against Salzburg. I thought they were outclassed. Some of them looked as if they didn't have any energy, any fuel in the tanks whatsoever. And then you get a team that are not as good as Salzburg, but suddenly they press them, and again Celtic looked mediocre.
Yeah, I thought they just looked lifeless in Sunday. There was nothing about them, no energy about them. Look, I was in situations when I played Thursday, Sunday. Look, if you prepare right and you look after yourself, it shouldn't really affect you. But there is some players that have played a lot more games than others, and when they guys that have not been playing come in, they need to take their chance, but simply they haven't. I mean, I agree with Ruffy. Christie's been a big miss. Now, I wouldn't imagine I'd have said that 3 months ago, but them, with the energy he brings in the middle of the park, they missed him, and Kieran Tierney again, another young player with a lot of energy. They missed these sorts of players, but he'll be concerned. There's no doubt in my mind after that performance, because as I said, they look lifeless. It wasn't the Celtic that I've been watching the past couple of months, because they have come into a bit of form, but the last 2 games, one against Salzburg and Hibs, that they weren't up to scratch.
Do you anticipate, Ruffy, Celtic ending this campaign after the 4 games being top of the table?
Well, I'm looking at Aberdeen and Rangers. Just remind me, where is the Aberdeen game? Is it at Parkhead? I know the Rangers game's at Ibrox.
It's at Pittodrie.
Well, that's 2 really, really hard games. I think Aberdeen, in the form that they're going on just now, will fancy their chances to take something out of that game. I certainly think Rangers will fancy taking something out of the Ibrox one. So it's up to Celtic. That's what I'm saying.
Well, hold
the
on
game
a minute.
tonight.
If Aberdeen take something from the game at Pittodrie,
I mean,
if Rangers take something from Celtic, then you don't anticipate Celtic
No,
being
I'm
at
not
the top.
talking about wins. I'm talking about draws. I mean, every draw is a 2-point loss, and everybody else. Kilmarnock could go on a wee run.
Yeah.
You know, if they all cut each other up, so they could still be. I'm not saying they're going to win the league, but I think the Rangers game at Ibrox, for me, for this season, is a massive, massive game for both sides.
Just psychologically, that's it.
Yeah, I think we saw Rangers going to the top of the league, and okay, quite rightly so, they were all celebrating. This time they went top, there wasn't any celebrating. If Rangers beat Celtic at Ibrox, they will be celebrating big time, and a belief that they can go on and win this league just by that one game.
Yeah, okay.
Depending on what the score is, right enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to actually ask you anything about. I actually take no heed whatsoever of anything you say about scores, because you've got no conviction in it. 3-0 defeat for Scotland. Gordon Strachan has to go. 24 hours later, well, he's my pal. I don't think he has to go. I'd really like him to stay. I meant meant more than 3-0. So I don't think we should pay any heed, Ruffy, to any scores that you're going to mention on it. But do you agree with him?
I tell you what. See Celtic and Rangers, this period of 4 games leading up before the winter break, it's massive for both of them. It's if any of them lose any games, I don't think it's going to make a difference to the league. I still believe that Celtic are still title favourites and the better team, but I don't look too far. What you need to do is just take one game at a time and make sure you win it. And Rangers have got a hard game tonight.
Yeah, but of course, bland statements like I believe they're title favourites and they should win it is not.
They have got the strongest squad.
Yeah, but do you? That's everybody knows that. But are you looking at it and saying to yourself, if Rangers can win at Ibrox, as Ruffy says, he reckons psychologically they should be celebrating and thinking we can win this.
The only reason Rangers will be celebrating because they've not done it for 7 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But listen, it's a massive game. Rangers need to win it. But they need to win all these games leading up. If you want to be champions, going to Pittodrie for Celtic's sake, they need to be going there and beating them.
Yeah.
They can't have another performance like that on Sunday.
All I'm saying is that if Rangers go into that game and beat Celtic and go 4 points clear in the league, there'll be 50,000 Rangers supporters think this is it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's the way football is. That's the way football supporters do.
The Rangers players can't think like that. The fans can think like that.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fans will.
Yeah. So 2 games against Hibs, 1 against St Johnstone, and 1 against Celtic. That's Rangers' next 4.
Yep, and I'll be keen watching the game tonight because this is the biggest one for me. They need to get this one out the road. Because I just watched, as I says a few minutes ago, I watched a Hibs team in top form. This is the hardest game out of them all tonight.
Out of all 4 coming up?
Yes.
This one tonight?
Yeah, they need to win this tonight.
Okay. The reason I'm saying that, this is harder than the Celtic game.
Right, they need to win this one tonight.
Yeah. So the one against Celtic's not as hard as this one?
No, listen, I'm telling you one thing. They need to win the game tonight.
Yes, I know.
I'm not concerned about the Celtic game the 29th. I'll make sure Rangers win that game tonight. That's the most important one.
Okay.
Mentally.
Yep, okay.
They need to do it.
He's got that look in his eyes. You've got that look in your eyes if you want to fight.
No, listen, this is the games you've got to win.
Yeah.
These type of games tonight.
Yep, absolutely. I buy into it. It's an intriguing one. 4 games coming up, and of course, let's not be disrespectful to the rest of them, Ruffy. Celtic and Rangers, but Aberdeen suddenly in the mix. Hibs and Hearts can take points off teams, but Kilmarnock, we can't be unfair to Kilmarnock.
No,
just solely in the slipstream.
No, although Aberdeen won quite comfortably the other night, let's realistically look who they beat. You know, so wait until they get a big result. Wait until they get points off Celtic. Wait till they take points off Rangers and Kilmarnock. Then we can maybe say, right, that's Aberdeen on a charge.
Okay.
I'm not going to be kidded on by last night's result.
All right, okay, there you are. Two of them. Great for a noise up tonight, by the way. Let's hope nobody picks a fight with either of them. Just to finish, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, caretaker manager of Manchester United. What's the world coming to?
Yeah, I was surprised at that. I've got to be honest, I know he's done a good job over in Norway with is it Molde he's at?
Molde, yeah.
No, but it's surprising why they're leaving it to the end of the season to go and get a manager. I don't understand it.
No, neither do I. I mean, it's just not
They've
United.
got the money, Peter, let's be honest. If they want to go and get the right guy, they've got the money to go and get them, whatever club he's at. Yeah,
well, here's Jose Mourinho's statement. Obviously, people keen to hear what he had to say. This is the first statement that's come out from him. I've been immensely proud to wear the badge of Man United since the first day I arrived. I believe all United supporters recognise this, just as the case with previous clubs. And he goes on to say, I hope the media will respect my position, let me live my normal life until the moment I decide to return to football. The chapter at United is obviously closed. So that's Jose now having to look for another job. Maybe the compensation of between 18 and 24 million will just tide him over until he finds a new club. From Barry, from Ruffy and myself, thanks for watching.
The Arnold Clark Reel sale is now on.
Welcome to PLZ Soccer. Why not join the football family and download the PLZ app? You'll get all the latest Scottish football news and up-to-date news on English and world football. There's also a feature here where you can record yourself talking about your favourite team. If we use the video, you could feature on our football show. For all the latest news in Scottish football, download the PLZ Soccer app in the App Store and in Google Play. Come and join the football family on PLZ Soccer.